Hi. My children are fighting over a toy, so there might be a little bit of barking going on. And by fur children, as I should have clarified. How is everybody? It is what it is, you know? So I did not go to Cave of the Winds. We ended up getting snow in Denver. In fact, our last snowstorm, you're welcome. That's quite the view. I'll Photoshop that out if I had that program and knew how to use it. Yeah, because look, no headband. I know you guys are proud. What was I saying? Oh, snow in Denver up until June 20th. It's the craziest thing in the world. In fact, A Basin is open this week for 4th of July. That's the craziest crap I've ever heard in my entire life. But whatever. Here's what's fun today, too. What the mothers. So this side lays flat. It's like I got stuck in a windstorm and then electrocuted myself. Okay, so I did not make it to Cave of the Winds. I am going to try to make it to Cave of the Winds this summer. I added a super fun trip in. I hope, we'll see. I'm going to go see my grandma and my aunt and my 2 cousins in a little town in Kansas. So if you've never been to Kansas and like farmland Kansas, you'll get to see a farm and cows, I think, are everywhere. I have not been there for quite some time. I used to have a cow there. Not like Bart Simpson, but more like I owned a heifer that bought my wedding dress when they sold it. Okay, I totally digress, as always. But the reason that I haven't done much lately is I've been in my little cave for a mental cave for a week or so. So I am on cycle 24 of Halavan, whatever. I had my first, the chemo off. So I had chemo Thursday, just whatever, a couple days ago. And then because of 4th of July, I'm having it a day early, so I get to have it tomorrow. And then I'm going to have a scan on either Monday or Tuesday, 15th, 16th. And then I go meet Dr. Lee on Wednesday. So everything's good, but Dr. Lee was a little concerned that my blood pressure, for my last appointment, they tested me multiple times, and the highest I got was 89 over 65. And then at the same time, my heart rate was like 90. So what that means is that my heart's just doing this instead of like strong beats and at a regular temperature or regular pace. Mine's like boobies. Silicone. And 1 ruptured, BS. And that was a while ago. That's fine. So I say that because we decided I'm going to take a chemo holiday. You're welcome, Kayla. A friend of mine decided that it should have a fancy name. Instead of chemo holiday, it should be a chemo holiday. I don't know what accent that is, and it really doesn't matter. But I've had to mentally kind of be okay with this because we're taking 3 months off. I was originally thinking of taking Um, well, I was going to take the cycle off, this next cycle off, because I go to New York to meet the girls that are in the stage 4 group, so you'll get to meet them. Maybe do a live, but I don't know, because the time zone and everything, I'm not smart enough to figure that out. But I'll work on that. One of the girls went to MIT. She'll figure it out. Thanks, Allie. Anyway, I was going to take that time off and then the time for the Komen walk, which if you want to donate, I would love it. I'm short of my goal and I ain't got no monies to pay for it because I'm paying for my own breast cancer treatments. And I have to pay for travel and everything else. If you want to donate, I would love it. Or if you want to pass it along to anybody, feel free. And if you don't want to donate to Komen, but you want to donate to my travel fund or medical bills, you are more than welcome. Just let me know and I'll give you all the information. You're welcome. I put that plug in. So what Dr. Lee had said was his concern is that taking, one session off, like 6 weeks or whatever, that's driving me bonkers, isn't going to do enough for my heart and everything to recover. So he would like to see more time off so that my body can maybe make a full recovery. And his thinking is that right now, since I'm what you would consider NED, and this is, I must back up. This is dependent on my July 17th results being NED or unchanged, because I've been stable for 8 months now. 8 months now. So everything is dependent on my cancer being stable still. Not in remission. Never remission. So they're getting the toy out. I warned you. So if the scan is fine, then the goal is to take off what would be my, start of my cycle, July 17th, whatever it is. And we'll hold off until mid-October or October 20th, maybe even around Halloween. The main reason for that is it gives me way more time to get my heart kind of maybe back to a normal pace. And the good thing, too, with training for the walk, and for anybody that doesn't know, I decided, probably when I was stoned, it really wasn't, I was sober, totally sober, if you can believe it. I decided to do a 60-mile walk in Boston, so it's 20 miles a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But and that's September 5th, 6th, 7th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I decided to do it, and since I'll be off my chemo, I think it'll be a great time because I'll be able to train and get my heart in better condition, hopefully. But he wants to do it that long, one, because he wants to make sure that we give my heart enough time to recover. But then two, and I must say, I've had an EKG recently and it was fine. So there's not like a big reason to worry about my heart other than the blood pressure and my heart rate. He's just like, I don't want you to have a heart attack and die. And that's what I fear if we continue on this regimen, that's what will happen. So I was like, okay, Gracie, come here. So one of the things that I asked him is, okay, if we take this chemo holiday, it kind of made me paranoid that things would just explode and grow everywhere. And so I love my doctor. He goes, let me give you a little oncology 101. I'm like, got it. he kind of told me, summing it up, I'm trying to figure out how I want to word the cancer cells in my body. Right now, first off, the chemo will stay in my body for a little while after I'm done. So I'll have a little bit of protection from that. But even then, he said, you've been stable for a long time and you've been continuing on the drug even though you've had no growth. So, Gracie! So, taking 3 months off, we should be perfectly fine. And, because he just said we have to just have faith that it's done what it needed to do and that we can take a little break and that, it's protected you enough that, there won't be an issue. Now, okay, wait, let me think if I'm done. Yes. So then I'll start back up mid-October after I have another scan. So we'll scan at the beginning when I first quit and then when I get back on. And during that time, hopefully everything stays stable, but the insurance won't approve anything closer together than 3 months, more frequent than a 3-month scan, unless you have reason to have concern. So if I feel like, I know this pain, because you know the pain. If you're like, I know this pain in my back or in my side or whatever, I'll do a scan. And then that's justified and they don't care, they'll pay for it. So if the scan's not good, because I have to know every side of the story, we talked about that. And if it's not a good scan, then we'll change drugs and then we'll chat. And we'll chat to decide how bad has it grown. And the problem is I haven't had a scan for 6 months. So it's going to be extremely difficult to figure out during that period between the scans, when did it start growing? Because we're talking, do we take a break for the health of my body to just maybe recover a little bit before we would introduce another chemo drug that realistically is probably even harder on your body? And that's the problem. Sorry, my son's earphone cord is in the way. It's kind of driving me nuts. Okay, bad scan, chemo, yeah, maybe worse. So we've kind of decided like, okay, that's our plan B. We're not even going to deal with it, but we know what will happen if we have to. Like, I just need to know for my own sanity. And that's going to be my biggest thing, is keeping my sanity in the next 3 months, because I don't do that very well. So I'm going to have to somehow kind of like be zen and in a happy place. But, so that's the update on me. I think that's everything. Yeah. I still want to talk about kids. We're still doing tons of fun stuff, and I didn't bring my camera to my friend's birthday party, so you missed that. Sorry. I don't know what that is. But, hey, I have to plug a show. If anybody needs like a really good comedy that's just kind of like way out there, Schitt's Creek. But Schitts Creek. I've watched it since season 1. I just realized they had a little Christmas thing on. It's so good. It's Eugene Levy and his son, I think, did it, or maybe just his son. But it's so great. Comedy, crazy. I love it. So it's been keeping me a little bit sane the last few days. Just because I've been struggling with quitting chemo for 3 months. So I'm going to have to just figure that out mentally and keep myself busy. So you'll eventually, I swear, you'll see more of Colorado than my background gray walls. Okay, I think that's it. Did I have any questions on YouTube I didn't answer? I'm going to talk kids soon. New York with the other metastatic girls is July, August 9, 10, 11. I don't know how. Okay, my dears. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Everybody keep their chin up. I know we have hard days, but we need each other to get through this. I mean, I need all of you guys. We all need our little team. So, yeah. If you need anything, let me know. Thank you for those that have reached out and sent notes. I really love it, and hopefully I've been sort of a help. I don't have any tips this week. Yes, I do. Sunblock. People, come on. You're just going to fry. Listen, Jergens Natural Glow works pretty well. I have like freckly skin, so I look super tan all the time. But I use Saint-Tropez Gradual Tan. I like Jergens better. But sunblock, get a good mineral sunblock and try to make it reef friendly. And get rid of straws. Okay, I love you guys. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon. Happy 4th of July!